Hi guys, Vice here with a video. In this video we're going to be discussing the current shotguns in the game and having a free shotgun meta and if it can exist. So let's get right into it. I'm going to pick up our weapons, and in this video we're going to be discussing things like pros and cons of each shotgun, playstyles involved with the shotguns, and you know, pros and cons of each shotguns and things like would the would a shotgun would it be viable, the Tact shotgun in the meta, in its current state, and if any changes need to be made. So, let's get with the pump, good old trusty pump first. In my opinion, the pump is the king of box fights, weapons, 1v1s, inside somebody 1 by 1, edit playmakers, build resets, etc. It does big boost damage, so it does big boost damage. You see flat 200. It's king in those scenarios where you can quickly just chunk somebody. Now, the combat shotgun, pros and cons. Oh, the negatives for the pump shotgun, obviously, extremely slow rate of fire. Pros and cons for the combat shotgun, very fast rate of fire. It can be effective at a much greater distance, so mid-range. So ranges like this, which is 2.5 tiles. I hit that for 130, still very good damage at range. It's very consistent due to its tight spread. As you can see, it has the smallest aim reticle of any of the shotguns. The downsides of the combat shotgun is lower damage than both the pump and the Tact, and it's the most aim dependent shotgun due to its tight spread. I list that as a negative because aiming is a skill and not everybody has great aim, so it's very easy to miss shots with the combat shotgun and whiff, whereas the other two, because of the spread being slightly bigger, it's more forgiving to hit your shots. Now, tactical shotgun. It's the worst shotgun of the three, but there are positives to it along with negatives. Positives, it's very noob friendly. Because of how wide the spread is, it's more forgiving with your aim not having to be dead perfect on a guy. It has a good rate of fire, as you can see. Good rate of fire, good shoot. And it's honestly not a bad box fight weapon. If you get up close, you can see within like if somebody's 1 by 1 or something, it does good damage. Now, the downsides obviously extremely widespread, resulting in need to EDS with this weapon for it to do damage. And at range, because of how wide the spread is, you'll be missing a lot of shots. So let's get into playstyles now. As I said earlier, the pump is the king of box fight weapons. The pump is a better box weapon, in my opinion, when doubled with an SMG as a swap for aggressive WKers who can make edit plays. So again, people who can make quick edit plays like that, you will quickly get a jump on somebody and quickly chunk them for big damage, where you either one tap them if you can connect clean or leave them one shot for a quick follow up with an SMG. In regular build fights, in my opinion, the combat shotgun outshines the pump if you can aim due to better range, as I showed earlier, and having a much tighter spread. It's way more consistent damage because it has a tighter spread, so you're not reliant on bloom-based weapons like an AR or an SMG or a drum gun to do damage at mid-range. You can still keep the combat out, and the combat also shoots 3 times as fast as the pump, making the need for an SMG not as important, so you don't need to swap after you hit one shot with the combat. You just keep shooting with the combat. We've seen this very prevalent in the World Cup qualifiers, where the meta for the qualifiers, the loadout was AR, combat shotgun, and 3 utility slots, either 2 movement, 1 heal, or 2 heals, 1 movement. And with the pump, you need a swap weapon. So in case after you chunk somebody, you need a swap weapon to follow, because it would just take way too long to shoot again with the pump. As for the tactical shotgun, in its current state, in my opinion, it has no place in the meta and is by far the weakest shotgun. The problem is, how do we fix it to make it viable? The thing is, because of how the Tact currently is, if you buff it too much, it becomes OP. Me and my duo Devon were having this discussion last night, and he had some interesting points about buffing the Tact to make it viable, and I'll go over them now along with my counterpoints. So his idea was lower the combat rate of fire slightly. Lower the combat rate of fire slightly. Lower the combat rate of fire slightly while buffing the attack rate of fire slightly and decreasing the attack spread slightly. Personally, I see this as making the attack OP, and I'll explain why. The combat is in a nice spot, doesn't need to be touched, it handles well, and both the pump and combat are viable. They just suit different playstyles, but in my opinion, neither is that much more dominant than the other. Making the attack, which already has a good rate of fire, again, not that much slower, which already has a good rate of fire over the and shoots twice as fast as the pump. Buffing the rate of fire puts it dangerously close to combat shotgun rate of fire, and while decreasing its spread, makes it much better and much more consistent at further out, which puts it more in line with pump. It already does pump like damage, so decreasing the spread puts it more in line with a pump whilst having a faster rate of fire than a pump. In my opinion, those two buffs would make the Tact shotgun the best shotgun in the game. The Tact could already chunk for over 150 as I showed earlier, and decreasing its spread would just, like I said, those buffs would just make it a much better combat shotgun, a higher damaging combat shotgun. How would I change it? In my opinion, if I had to buff the Tact to make it viable, I would change the ADS spread slightly. This spread. Keep this spread wide so as to decrease its potential for jump shooting like this. Whereas the other shotguns, the spread is still reasonable, so you can still jump shoot and clock somebody for good damage. Still clock somebody for good damage. The combat as well is also really good for jump shooting because the spread stays nice and tight. So my buff would be keep this spread wide, but buff this spread. So decrease this spread slightly, so it will encourage a third playstyle. Whereas this shotgun will not be viable, but only when your ADS has to more, give it its own unique place in the meta. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you agree, disagree, drop a comment in the comment section. I'd love to hear people's thoughts on the current shotgun meta. If you think the Tact needs a buff, if you think it's good as it is. So yeah, let me know what you think, and don't forget to like and subscribe on the video if you enjoyed the video. This is my first time doing a video like this, so feedback is welcome. I appreciate all the feedback. Thanks again, guys.